Hi everyone, my name is Oscar Irigoyen. I am Senior Solutions Consultant for Infovista, and today I am very glad to complete the show of our findings of our POC deployment between TELOIP and Infovista teams. We are showing a solution that we call SD-WAN-X or SD-WAN 10 because we put together the layer 3 capabilities of TELOIP and the layer 7 capabilities of the Infovista application performance technology. So if you want to see more details about the setup of this POC, please see the first video. So in this first video, we cover also the configuration of the devices and some elements that we need to take into account to have an accurate metrology and control of applications, above all when we have congestion. In this second part, we are going to show you 4 use cases. So the application visibility with and without congestion in the network, dynamic quality of service for mission critical applications to protect them from user experience degradation, and also this QoS with failover link capabilities and bandwidth aggregation when we have the ability to use active links over the internet. So just a recall of our setup, we have 2 sites, Atlanta and Dallas. And in Atlanta, we have a PC connected via a 4AX and Infovista box. This box is going to give us the layer 7 capabilities of visibility of applications and dynamic quality of service. So while this box over here, the 600 of TELOIP, is going to give us the layer 3 capabilities over the internet through the TELOIP POPs. So on Dallas, where I am located, we have the same topology in chain, the 4AX with the 600 box, but we have 2 links with 2 different service providers connected through the internet. So these 2 boxes are controlled and monitored from the Salsa controller on the Infovista portal. So for more details, again, you can see our previous video. So let us start showing the results of in this second part. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is my RDP remote desktop protocol interface in Atlanta. So I am using Atlanta because in Atlanta we have a bottleneck. So the link that we are using there has about 100 megabits per second download and 7 megabits upload. So the 7 megabits upload is our bottleneck. And in this case, I'm transmitting a video through RDP. So the video is just being received from YouTube in this PC in Atlanta and retransmitted using the RDP, the remote desktop protocol interface to here Dallas. So just for recalling, the remote desktop protocol is a Microsoft protocol that is very used in IT for supervision, troubleshooting servers and PCs, and it is very important for having good operations on the IT teams. It's very critical for the IT teams. You can have other kind the applications very critical as well, like financial applications, like ERP applications, IoT applications that are real time as well, and that they're going to affect the business output, the business performance if they behave if they behave incorrectly. So we are seeing here that the user experience of this video is very good. I mean, we have an image which is fluid and good quality, um, but we don't have any type of congestion. So let us see how Salsa reports that. So we have Salsa over here, and Salsa has so 4 sites. Uh, we can see the I recommend to see the previous video where I explain the details of Salsa. But here we have 4 sites: Atlanta, Dallas, Internet, and out of domain. So we are going to focus in Atlanta, right? Because as I said, we have here our bottleneck. So Atlanta is being is working very good in terms of AQS. So we can see that the applications that are running have almost 10 in AQS. They are in green: the RDP, the Office 365, YouTube, Internet, and other flows. So the same thing for Dallas, Normandy. So let us see some flows in Atlanta. If I select Atlanta, I can see the detail of flows. So from YouTube, which is the flow I am receiving, and the RDP, which is the application that is transmitting the flows to Dallas. So let us refresh that, and we are going to see maybe different values. The system requires certain time of refreshing. So yeah, here we have the RDP and showing about 4 megabits per second in upload. So the AQS is a global KPI. It's not an instantaneous or complete instantaneous KPI, because it requires a number of samples to have an accurate view of the user experience of an individual of an application over a period of time. And why not? Let us start with some congestion. Let us generate some congestion in the network in Atlanta. So I'm going to use iPerf, and to generate 19, maybe 21. I have 21 flows of 1 megabit per second, so 21 megabits per second of congestion in Atlanta by using this commands. So again, we don't have congestion over here, and we are going to see a change in this behavior. So the user experience is going to be affected. So go, and that's it. So it is definitively impacting the user experience of my video. The retransmission of the video over the RDP. We can see over here that we have an increase on throughput in my local interface. So, and it changed from 5 megabits per second to more than 20 megabits per second, because I am sending 21 megabits per second on iPerf and I'm receiving only 15. So it is normal, because I have the wide area network link between Atlanta and Dallas. So let us also verify what is happening in the Salsa platform. So we have the sites over here. And yes, RDP start to be affected. We can see directly Atlanta. We have over here the RDP traffic that worked correctly previously to the congestion. Over here we have an episode of congestion in a test I did before. So the light blue surface in this graph is UDP. And so you can see over here that Atlanta is using in 166% of its upload link. So completely overload, and the RDP is being affected. If I select Atlanta again and I see the states of their flows, we are going to see probably a number of impairments. So yeah, so UDP over here with a throughput which has increased and with a lot of losses. RDP also with very significant losses. So if we wait a little more for getting more samples or statistics in the visibility engine, we are going to see that probably the AQS will be evolve to a very bad AQS for the site. So here we have the RDP is already having an AQS of 0, which is completely true, is related with what we are seeing in the video over here. So let us see. Yeah, even the traffic is so high that we lost the congestion is so high that we lost our Ipanema engine on the Atlanta side. So I hope it will be recovered. Yeah, will recover by a while, and I'm going to very quick activate control to recover my levels of bandwidth utilization. So I am crossing fingers because sometimes it's very hard to get the control of the of the network when it is extremely congested. This is because we need to activate control before the congestion, right, to prevent this congestion. But right now I'm doing that on the fly, and we are going to see that if the control is active. Oh, good. So yeah, the control has been active, and right now you can see the drop that throughput drops down over here, and even if we are sending a lot of traffic over here of including UDP, only 7 megabits per second is allowed, is being shaped by the Ipanema system. So happy days. In this case, we are really showing that our user experience is recovered after activating the control in the Ipanema system. And we are going to see the difference also on the dashboard. So that was our situation previous to the control activation. So yes, a lot of losses in RDP. We have a lot of loss also in UDP. UDP is not important because it is low criticality. RDP is extremely important because it's our top criticality application. So, and we can see here the big peak of UDP traffic. So the light blue, and the destructive effect over the blue, the dark blue over here of RDP. Okay, so right now control is active, so it should evolve to an AQS of better user experience. And here you go. We have that the system converged to an AQS of 10, even with enormous congestion. So this is what we wanted to show using control. So the next use case after this, the application control, is bandwidth aggregation. So bandwidth aggregation is the ability to use two links on the internet and adding the bandwidth of both links. In my case, I have an aggregated bandwidth in Dallas of 32 megabits per second. But if I remove one of the links, we are going to see that the global throughput is going to drop down. Which is interesting is that the bandwidth aggregation in this case will help me to have a better user experience with applications like web. I'm going to download a big file from Google Drive, and at the same time using my RDP mission critical traffic. So I'm going to use abundant bandwidth for my benefit. So I'm going to transfer a big file. It is a gigabit file. It's a video, and I am going to download it from Google Drive. So, and as you can see, this is my local interface. Yeah, and it has to start to download, I think, the file, because I am seeing, well, this is the activity of my Google Drive browser, and right now it is going to right now it is downloading my file, my gigabit file, and the bandwidth usage is higher than previously. So you can see here the peak, the enormous peak, a huge peak, and which is a peak of 32 megabits per second, which is my capacity of the link. So again, happy days. We are having a lot of congestion over here in Atlanta. We have a good user experience for my video and RDP and RDP interface, and at the same time I am using my bandwidth for download a file. Link failure resiliency. So the idea is that I am going to remove this link, the principal link, and we are going to see here that the RDP is going to stay working, and we are going to see also a drop in throughput, but the applications are going to maintain its levels of user experience. So I right back, I'm going to disconnect this link. I back and I have that. Yeah, so the bandwidth has the utilization of the bandwidth or the throughput has dropped down after the disconnection of the first link, but the video of RDP continues to be received and transmitted from Atlanta correctly, even with this congestion. So again, happy days, because we have all use cases over here. So let us verify that in our Salsa platform. And we have here Dallas. So we can see here when we start to download our big file over Google Drive. And after some seconds, we are going to see the evolution, and it will show this drop of throughput because the link failure. But we are going to see the traffic alive. So very, very good news. And most of the flows, the critical flows, will remain with good quality of service, with very good user experience. So if I do a summary of all those findings, essentially we show in the first part of this POC that with no congestion, so the RDP works good. It's steady in terms of bandwidth utilization. When a congestion episode appears, like a UDP flow, a very big UDP flow, it will have a very destructive effect on the RDP traffic. So, and the user experience is going to be affected very strongly. With application control, we restrict the UDP and we give criticality. We recover the user experience of the RDP and maintain the user experience to a very high level. In this congestion situation, we can also download a big file and use the bandwidth aggregation that I have in Dallas. So this is our second use case, and have a good user experience, not only for our RDP traffic, the blue here, but also for the red one, the internet web traffic, all together. And finally, if there is a failure of one of the links in my connections, we remain with a good user experience. So we have resiliency in our network, and we have less throughput, but all the network, all the applications continue to work correctly with decent levels of user experience. So here we are showing all the four use cases. So visibility control, bandwidth aggregation, and link failover, working in this SD-WAN X or SD-WAN 10. So I hope this video has been illustrative of putting together layer 3 capabilities of TELOIP and the layer 7 application intelligence of Infovista. Thank you.